welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tavi and I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you're old, what it do? Thank you very much for clicking on this video, liking, commenting, subscribing and doing all the other amazing stuff. I'm back and I feel sassy, okay? If you watched my last video, yeah, this is the same makeup look, just different shirt and you know, with my hair. I'm sorry guys about that. So on this video, I'm actually going to be sharing some of the most valuable lessons that I feel like I've learned with my years of actually being in China, because I've been here for 3 years, of course, but a lot has happened, you know, and I was just like, I have learned so much that has made me an even better person, if not a good person, okay? We can never be perfect people, but we can always, you know, be better than what we were before. So yeah, without wasting time, let's get onto the video. The first lesson that I've learned in my years of being in China is that nothing lasts forever, okay? That job, those friends, that relationship, anything nothing lasts forever actually, because you know, most of the time, I know people that actually sign 2-year contracts, 3-year contracts. That's not forever still, but at least it's a bit of a long term, if I can put it that way. But for some of us who are normally just going for 1-year contracts, 1 year, 6-month contracts, we actually realize that nothing lasts forever. You are here building bonds with your school, your kids and whatever, but eventually, when push comes to shove, you have to move over to more equipped and more adventurous, more experienced and more different environments that actually make you a better person. So I learned this in the most difficult way, because, you know, normally when I get into a situation, not just in relationships, but, you know, whether it's me signing with the school or whatever, my emotions are invested in that because I build bonds with my students. I love my students a lot. I love my job sometimes, but you know, some things are just not working out, and then you'd have to eventually leave, and that has had like a very positive impact in my life, if I can put it that way, in as much as it doesn't bring stability, but you know, it actually teaches me that, you know, it's okay to let go and to move on and to look for more greener pastures if something doesn't work, because it's not all the time where everything is gonna work just the way you had anticipated that it is gonna work out eventually. The third thing is to never forget my initial goal. So we are here for different reasons. I say this probably in all my videos currently, you guys know. So we are all here for different reasons. Some people are here because this is like a stepping stone. Some people are here because they need the money to support their families. Some people are here because they want to, you know, get a quick way out. Some people are here to discover themselves. Some people are here because they want to travel and do all the other amazing stuff. None of those goals are wrong, but it is to just always remind myself why I'm here, why I chose to leave home and be here, and make sure that with all those goals, I always have a plan ahead of me. Of course, plans don't always go according to how we want them to turn out, but what is important is we just keep thriving on those goals, and we make sure that with whatever it is that we are planning on achieving, we actually get it at that time that we plan on achieving those things. I know people who've wanted to be here for 2 years, and after 2 years they didn't waste time, they went back home, okay, because they had fulfilled their goals. And it is easy for you, or you can easily get distracted from your goals and just do other stuff, you know. But what is important is always reminding yourself, oh, okay, so in as much as I might be doing other stuff, because at the end of the day, we have a life to live. We have things that we want to experience and, you know, just go through. So regardless of all of that, we always, like, what I've learned is to always focus on my goals, always remind myself, like, give my tap on the shoulder, like, okay, in as much as you are enjoying life, doing this, doing that, but remember why you were here from the beginning or in the first place. Number 4, it is to always be kind to myself. Now, this has always been something that I've always struggled with being in China. probably it's something that I've always struggled with in my entire life, but I actually got to discover it or pay attention more to it when I actually came to China. That it is easy for you to be hard on yourself, especially when you don't get to know something very easy. You start judging yourself. You think, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh my God, I'm so slow, because there are circumstances or situations where you find yourself and you're like, I should have known that shit. But you don't know the shit, and you just always have to be kind to yourself. Sometimes, again, this relates to being away from family, being away from your normal support system, being away from things that you are used to. You always need to be patient with yourself. Always be kind to yourself. Remind yourself, Oguti, you are not going to know everything. Which means you won't always know everything. So if you happen to stumble across something that you don't know, then okay, it's cool. You can always learn from it and move on. And another thing is to always learn from other people's experiences and circumstances and stuff like that. I know sometimes we like being Abu Thomas, you like learning things from firsthand. But one thing I've learned again when it comes to this is just always be someone that learns from other people's experience. Don't take it as your own, but learn something from it so that you avoid facing a similar circumstance. This is with getting a job. Like if someone is telling you, or a lot of people, not someone, let's say you are going to look for a review for a certain school, and then a lot of people are telling you, run away from that school. Don't be someone that's like, yeah, but you are not telling me what you did to the school, So always like, it can't be 10 people are telling you, it can't be that 10 people are telling you one thing about the same school over and over and over again, and you still go for that school, So you should always try to learn from other people's experiences, but then at the same time also know that you cannot know everything, so that you are always reminding yourself that you should always be kind to yourself. You are the only person that you've got at the end of the day, because most of your support system or what you are used to is back home, and you can't just like easily take a taxi and go back home, or easily just do whatever to go back home. You probably have to stick it out for like a year if you are going to be signing a year contract, or 3 years, or whatever years, with you being in China at that time, or just any place in particular. Like, it doesn't have to be China specifically. It could be anywhere abroad. It's not like it's next door where you can just call your mama and be like, hey, I'm actually going through some problems right now. Try and make a plan. You always need to make sure that you know how to deal with whatever it is that you are going through at that time. So yeah, the next thing that I've learned is to always be patient with every situation. Now here, what I've learned is everything always works out for the good. Okay, now with this one, how I've learned this lesson is, most of the time I'm like a panicky person, especially when it comes to changing jobs, or if I have to look for an apartment, moving to a new city, or making any drastic decision that has got to do with me being in China. And I just panic. I cannot help myself when it comes to this. But one thing I've always learned is to always be patient. Even if you are changing jobs and things don't look promising, because probably you're having a fallout with your school and your school is not giving you your papers or whatever, just always be patient and understand, just because you're not getting that offer, it doesn't have to stop you from leaving that toxic job that you want to leave just because you're not getting an offer. Now, I'm not saying leave and pack up your school and be like, okay, ngizobona mangifika phambili. No, don't do that. But what I'm trying to say to you is, don't lock yourself in situations where you are like, okay, you know what? I don't know what the way is out of this. Always seek help from other people. Always look for other alternative ways that you can deal with the situation before you actually make a decision or a final decision on whatever it is that you have to deal with at that time. Another thing is that sacrifices are always worth it. Okay, now this is whether you are leaving a job or taking a job, moving cities or coming to China, it is always worth it. At the end, it is very nerve-wracking. You have to make a lot of drastic decisions. Or sometimes you feel like your decisions are drastic. Sometimes it's just not drastic. It's just what you have to do at that time. And you might be thinking, oh my God, this is like the end of the world. What is going to happen to me? How am I going to move on from this? But one thing I've realized is with every situation that you take, or whatever decision that you like take at that time, or any situation that you go through at that time, you would eventually get a payout out of it. There is still a sensitive topic that I would like to talk on, or that people like normally just like how do I put it without sounding insensitive? Now, one of the reasons why I took forever to talk about that is because I feel like I might come across as being insensitive. But, you know, sometimes I would go on the internet and I would find people saying stuff like, oh, normally when people go to China, they pass on or they die. If you go to China, you're going to die. Guys, death is inevitable. But I don't want to talk much about that. So what I'm trying to say is, whether you go or you don't go, it still works in your benefit. Like, it just depends on what your motivation is at that time. If you feel like you want to stay at home, stay at home. Don't make other people who want to move abroad feel bad about moving abroad. Even if, like, guys, at the end of the day, everyone is just responsible for whatever decision that they make. But what is important is to always remember that everything that you do is always worth it. Like I said, everyone is a different reason why they are here. And with everyone, with every decision that with every reason that everyone decides that they actually want to come here or move to any country abroad, because I think if you leave your country, you're actually moving abroad, regardless of you like being in the United States and going to Africa, you are still moving abroad. You know what is at stake for you. You know why you are doing it, and you know if it's going to be worth a while. But for me, I've always discovered that everything is always worth a while. Another thing is to always save and be vigilant financially. Now with this one, I think it's because as someone who has always experienced having to change schools every year, now I've realized that it's actually not a very wise or a sound decision because, you know, firstly, moving is expensive. Relocating to a new city is expensive, and sometimes you might experience things like lockdown that you didn't expect, and you might have to, you know, use savings that you've had to save in the past couple of months that you've been working wherever you were working to sustain yourself throughout that lockdown, because some schools, if you are not going to work, then they are not going to pay you. Not all schools give you online classes, so you might not be paid for probably 3 months, 6 months, or whatever that they decide. But now things are eventually looking up, so hopefully we won't have to experience that anymore in the future. But what I've learned is to always save, because you cannot even, maybe to some people that happens, but with me, I don't think it makes sense that you think you can just rock up into someone or to someone and be like, can you please borrow me 5,000 RMBs? I need to pay for an apartment in advance, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. So it's always important to save, because nothing is guaranteed. You never know when you're going to be where you are and how long are you going to be where you are. And everything is just unpredictable. So saving has always been important to me, and I've learned about a lot of saving ways and all that other stuff that I'll probably share down the line, because I've heard someone actually I've had someone commenting, and also on my inboxes, people just, you know, wanting me to share things that I have accomplished ever since I've been in China and stuff like that. Apparently they say it's motivation as to what I've accomplished, so that they know that actually coming to work here is actually worth a while. I don't know, to me, I won't lie, the financial freedom is there, but I've also had to do a lot more that I feel like I wouldn't be able to do if I didn't take the chance that I took to actually come here. Like I said, everything works for you, or it works out eventually at the end. Another thing that I learned is it is important to learn to mind your business, okay? Minding your business is the best thing that you could ever teach yourself when you come here. So always remind yourself to always mind your business. I don't know, for me, minding my business has taught me, Uguti, you know, everything always works well in life. You thrive in a lot of stuff in your life if you just mind your business. Don't be involved in other people's business. Things that have got nothing to do with you, stay away from them. Just don't be in other people's business, okay? If someone is asking for your help, then if you can be available, be able to help them where you can, then you extend the help. If no, don't. There's no need, okay? Don't do that thing. Don't do that thing, because the thing is gonna backfire and you won't like it, okay? Just learn to mind your business. Everyone is an adult here, and everyone knows what they're doing. And sometimes if you feel like if it's necessary, unless someone's life is in danger, of which unfortunately I've never had to fortunate enough, I've never had to witness, So I've never been in a situation where I felt like I had to meddle in other people's business. And I feel like life is easier to manage when you just mind your business, because you don't have to focus on what another person is doing. No one has to focus on whatever it is that you're doing. Everyone is just doing what they are doing, and everyone is happy and everyone is at peace. Okay, so with this one, I think I already mentioned, but it's just the point that I'm going to add, that you can always learn from other people's mistakes or other people's experiences. This has got to do with everything, whether it is work related or it has to do with personal stuff or whatever, because sometimes we meet people who don't mind sharing their personal experiences. So you can always share, you can always learn a thing or two from those people. Of course, if you want to, nothing is a force here. Everyone does whatever they want. But one thing that I've always learned is I don't have to be Thomas. I don't have to experience something firsthand for me to realize, oh shit, that is not what I was expecting to happen. So always learn from other people's experiences. People don't mind sharing their experiences. People don't, as long as you ask, people will share if they feel like it's not overstepping their boundary and doing the other extra stuff. So always remember that. And another thing that I've learned, again, it is to always be myself. Now, this is something that I've grown to realize when I came to China, because I feel like this is where I got to be with myself without my family and realizing like what type of a person I really am. And that has worked for me because I've managed to click with some people, I've managed to not click with some people, and I think that works out for the best for me as well, because I don't have to be in places that I'm not meant to be in, and sometimes I can be in places that are meant for me because of who I am. I don't have to change to be anyone. I don't have to change to adapt or to accommodate other people. Like I said, everyone here is just doing whatever they want to do. As long as you stick to your own lane, mind your business and do your thing, everything always works out for the good. But other than that, like I always say in my videos, not everything is just to scare you guys, but just to show you, you can always have a great opportunity out of something. You meet amazing people, you get to travel the world, you get to make your own money, you get to do your own shit, you get to discover yourself, you get to do all these other amazing stuff. But as long as you just learn a thing or two from it, okay? So thank you very much for watching this video. It is what it is. If it ain't, then it wasn't it, baby. I don't want this video to be long, so I'm just gonna leave it here. But yeah, actually, those were my lessons, and I hope you guys will get to learn a thing or two from them. Until next time, thank you very much. Mwah. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.